What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything. As you can see, we're outside today because we're reviewing this car on the background. It's my new car. I bought it 2 weeks ago. It's a SKODA Superb from 2015. It's a year old. I bought it as a used car because that's obviously cheaper. And I've been driving around in it ever since. It's my new car, my daily driver, for my family, shopping, training, doesn't really matter. So I thought I'd give you a bit of an overview of what this car is all about. There's a lot of individual things I want to go into as well, the gearbox, the navigation system and so on, which I'll do in separate videos because I don't want to make this a full feature-length film. Little shout out, my sunglasses are from SunGod. My shoes are Reebok Z Quick Lights. I made videos of those as well, review videos, which I'll put up here in the description, down there in the description, up here in the link. But without further ado, let's have a look at the car in and out and see what's what. Now we're going to start here at the back. As you can see, it's quite a wide car. It's 1.80 meters wide. And here on the bottom left, you can see the twin exhaust pipe, which is sort of the signature for the big diesel engine. We got the 170 horsepower diesel, which is the biggest one they have. And they get those quad or double exhausts, which is quite nice. Looks good, I think. On the other side though, you see the Superb logo up here, obviously, but also the 4x4. This is a four-wheel drive car. That is not strictly speaking very necessary because I don't, pull any trailers or go out in fields or anything. But with such a large car, as you can see, it is huge. Such a large amount of power, such a lot of mass. I think it's nice to have the security of the four-wheel drive because I live in Düsseldorf in Central Europe. So now it does get pretty snowy and winter can, hit hard unexpectedly. But also on wet roads, it's good to have that extra bit of traction. Traction there is enough of. As you can see, the tires are quite large as well. They're 17-inch 225 sections, so there's a lot of rubber on the road. Which is again is good for grip, but also in combination with the four-wheel drive system is quite nice. Now this car is almost 5 meters long. As you can see, it is quite large, which is a good thing because I have to, which I'll show you later, transport my family around, and with one kid in the back and who knows, a second one at some point, you can't have too much space. Here on the front we got the bi-xenon headlights, which is quite nice. It really gives you a lot extra light at night. You really see a lot more. On the bottom we got the turning lights, which is actually something I'm not too keen about. The turning lights and the fog lights, the same thing. They're yellow, while the xenon lights are obviously blue. So that's doesn't really look nice when you have both on. So I think I'll have those fog lights, turning lights replaced at some point with LEDs to match the xenon. I think the stance is quite nice. I think it doesn't look aggressive, but it does look aggressive enough. This has a lot of road presence as a big car with a big nose, and I think a quite nicely designed grille with the updated SKODA logo. The old SKODA logo was green, but this one is actually nice and silver. Anything else to see on the outside? Not really. Obviously disc brakes all around. With such a big car and such a lot of mass, you have to be able to stop properly. We got the turning signals on the wing mirrors, which is nice, but really outside it's just a car. It is obviously built on the Volkswagen platform that also houses the Audi A6 and the Volkswagen Passat, so it's the same underpinnings, but a different body shell, and obviously the inside is a little different as well. But you can rest assured that it's a quality car, quality product, because it comes from the Volkswagen Group. It does have actually the speaking of the Volkswagen Group, the cheat software engine. That was something that the salesperson had to point out several times, that we are aware that it has the cheat software in it, that Volkswagen is now completely entangled in that scandal with the whole emissions thing. But they promised a fix, obviously free of charge. So that's the outside. We got the roof rails, last but not least. I think that comes standard with pretty much all station wagons. So at some point, if you want to put a ski box on the roof, that would be fine as well. But ski box is not necessarily necessary because the automated tailgate will reveal a ginormous boot. As you can see, it's full with my training equipment, but this is big enough to sleep in. I think it's almost 700 liters, and if you fold the seats down, it goes all the way up to, I think, 1600 liters maybe even. So there is really a lot of space. As you can see, the space theme continues here on the back seat. I got a child seat for a 2.5-year-old toddler over there, and his feet can barely touch the back of the seat, and the seat is actually in such a far back position that my wife can almost lay down there. She can fully stretch her legs without even touching the firewall on the front. So there's a lot of room here. As you can see here on behind me, that's in my driving position, there's ample storage room available, and also for people sitting here in the back, it's very comfortable even on longer journeys, because you have so much space for your legs. Now the same thing with the footwells, they're quite large, so you'll be more than comfortable here in the back. And it's a car that loans itself to be a limousine as well. If it's you know, if you don't have a child seat in the back, you can certainly transport passengers around without any problem. Alright, so here we are in the front, in the driver's seat, to give you a look around the business end of the car. Obviously, the first thing you'll notice is the amount of blackness in here. It is really, really dark, even though they call it grey or anthracite or whatever they want to call it. It is very, very dark in here. Luckily, it is broken up by the strips here on the dash and sort of the chrome around pretty much everything. Not such a fan of the chrome, to be honest. I mean, the logo here doesn't really matter, but the chrome everywhere is a bit too much bling for me. But then again, if you put it in a different color, it might look a bit off. So, you know, it is what it is. It's not too bad. This is obviously my point of view. The steering wheel, you got the two nice dials with the screen in the middle, with everything from your navigation to your vehicle information and so on. You got some controls here for the stereo and here for the information system right there, and obviously your phone and voice command. And you might notice some flippers behind the wheel, because this is the DSG automatic gearbox. Those flippers, yeah, I suppose, you know, at some point it's nice to shift yourself if you really want to, but for the past 2 weeks I've used them maybe twice, just to see what they do, and you know, other than that you leave it in automatic, because the DSG gearbox is really that good that you really don't think about it about shifting yourself anymore after driving it for 5 minutes. Now the gearbox specifically will be something I'll cover in another video, as the same with the navigation. That's the Columbus navigation system. So you get a 7-inch screen with everything from radio, media, phone, to navigation and your traffic information and your setup, obviously. You know, it's pretty standard Volkswagen stuff, but it works really well. It's really functional. So it is actually exactly what you want. In the newer models, the 2017 models, Skodas though, you get the 8-inch screen, which is the upgraded version. I have to say it is slightly slow when you start it up, but once it's going, no problem here at all. A little comment about the gearbox. I'll put some footage in on how well it shifts. It's super smooth, that's great, but it's very eager to shift up. So at some point you'll find yourself doing 38 in 4th gear and 48 in 5th gear, which is, you know, it's technically possible because the engine has enough torque that it's not a problem. But at those low RPMs, the engine is barely taking over, so you get this brrr sound from the diesel engine, which sometimes is a bit annoying. So it's not really necessary. And when you have to, you know, give it a bit of punch for a traffic light or whatever, then it suddenly has to drop 3 gears in order to get going. And it does go really well, and you know, it drops the gears really fast, but it's a bit too eager to shift up. But more on that in the separate gearbox video. All in all, I think it's quite a nice place to be. You got a good view out, as you can see. You also got a pretty good view all around. It's a large car, so you know, it's important to be able to spot where everything is. But that's not a problem at all. Because it's such a large car though, and because it is you know, relatively powerful, I find that I caught myself a few times on the highway doing speeds that were quite a lot more than I thought it was. Because you know, it's quiet, it's refined, it's their flagship car, and it's stable on the road with the 4-wheel drive system and the big rubber. So you know, your sensation of speed is something you sort of have to recalibrate your brain to. That sensation of speed is countered by the actual size of the car in a city. It is, I wouldn't say cumbersome, but sometimes it is tricky to move it around because, you know, you're covering such a large space on the road. And obviously parking garages and tight spots are, you know, definitely tricky. You really have to look around properly to see what you're doing. But all in all, I like it a lot. It's a good car. Quality is high. All the materials used are quite nice. This is all sort of soft. It does get slightly scratchier when you go down here, but you know, for sort of the budget car of the Volkswagen group, it is not all that bad, and it's well put together and it's very refined in general. So I like it a lot. It's a good, we're happy with the decision that we got this car, and I've been you know, enjoying a lot of kilometers in it. Can't wait to drive it far to Switzerland for skiing, to the Alps, but also back and forward to Holland, where my parents live, for example. It is excellent for that. It's a great cruiser. With all the space you have available, you know, there's ample room for kids, wives, luggage, and everything you need, really. This is Peter from Reviews on Anything with a quick look at the SKODA Superb, my SKODA Superb, my daily driver. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, that helps us out a lot, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!